Alrighty, so we talked about the Catholic Rosary last time that we were together and some of the traditions that kind of hold that down and why it exists, what its purposes are. Now let's talk about this one. This is the Anglican Rosary, or the Church of England's version of the Rosary. And the first thing to note about it is the fact that you can see how large the Catholic Rosary is. It's got 5 decades of beads, and everything is designed to be worn as a necklace. The Anglican Rosary is much smaller. It's more compact. And the beading as well is distinctive. Instead of having decades, which is 10 or chains of 10 beads, it's got what are called weeks, and it's called that because it's a chain of 7 beads instead. There is exactly 4 of them, 4 chains of 7 beads separated by these other distinctive marker beads. And the way you will use this one instead is you have those 4 distinctive marker beads that are all identical form a crucifix. You have Father, Son, Holy Spirit, because most Anglicans do still cross themselves, or genuflect is what it's called, the way that most Catholics and Eastern Orthodox will do. And the major distinction between the Anglican Rosary and the, other than obviously its formatting, the Anglican Rosary and a Catholic Rosary is that there's almost no emphasis on the Holy Virgin, the Virgin Mary, in it whatsoever. Whereas the other one, you're reciting the Hail Mary and the Queen of Heaven prayers over and over and over again. This, you're not actually required to recite it at all if you don't want to. That you will likely start with the same as the other one begins. You're going to have that Apostles' Creed to start you off, and then you're going to have what's called an invitory bead. You're going to recite with that usually the Our Father, the prayer that Jesus taught his disciples to pray in the Sermon on the Mount, and then you will go to those cruciform beads, the 4 cruciform beads. And the thing about it is that instead of having prescribed prayers the way that one has, you will in fact pray whatever you want, and that whatever your specific church, your local congregation teaches you to pray, because Anglicans usually do also have a confirmation course. They'll teach you that according to what their specific dedication of their church wants you to have, whatever their specific commitment rites want you to pray. And so the most common, as I'm saying, the most common is you have the Apostles' Creed, you have the Our Father, and then that next bead is going to be the one that you return to over and over again, is going to be the prayer that Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, the high priestly prayer. And then once you get to these seven beads, the weeks, many will teach their congregations to pray through, let's say, the 7 I am statements of Christ from the book of John, or you might have the 7 pieces of the armor of God from Ephesians chapter 6, or you might have various other things. Some will use repetition the way that the other one does, where you'll repeat, let's say, the Our Father prayer or the Shema prayer, or you might go through the 7 ecumenical creeds of the Christian church that are required to be recited, or if your church has a specific 7 set of covenant beliefs that it wants to reaffirm, it'll have you memorize those things, and then as you go through each individual bead, you'll recite those things as a matter of devotion, dedication, and distinction. So it can be an even more useful potential for any Christian to utilize this Anglican mode because of the fact that you can customize it to your own personal needs, your own personal level of dedication. Whatever if you're like, let's say, Assemblies of God, or if you are Pentecostal Church of God, your Southern Baptist, these various different credo organizations that have statements of faith and covenant articles and things, you can impose those things on each one of those beads and commit them to memory that way. And you also, if let's say you've got 6 siblings, 7 of you total in the family, or you've got 4 siblings, so that there's, including your 2 parents, you've got 7 members of your family in total, or whatever. If that helps, and you can pray for each one of them individually, you can just do that. And it'll solve that question. Again, the whole thing, the reason I'm bringing all this up is one of the major challenges, obstacles that I encounter all the time in student ministry, in adult ministry, that it's something that holds a lot of people back from engaging in a regular, consistent Christian prayer life is, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. And so, these things, these simple tools that you keep with you on a regular basis, this one's a little bit less wieldy because it's not a necklace the way the other one is. But it's something that if you carry it with you, wear it on your neck, you can even impose on these decades of the Catholic Rosary whatever it is that you need to remember to pray, committing certain things like an Our Father, like a statement of faith, like a covenant commitment, or a statement of faith. Each one of the pointed aspects of those things onto a specific bead, commit those things to memory, and then as you go through your day, if you're on a lunch break of some kind, go through, just clutch them, and as you kind of fondle them, for lack of any better word, pray through, even silently, just pray through those recitations, and you will find you're going to be able to center yourself spiritually. You're going to be much more consistent in your prayer and engagement life. And your spiritual health, and probably your mental and emotional health, will improve along with it.